Hi, everyone. This is Jim Pogue coming to you from my home office in Phoenix, Arizona. Today's Toolbox Talk is about toolbox talks. Uh, Whether you call them toolbox talks, tailgate meetings, or site meetings, it's a situation where employees and the crew chief or just the group need to perform pre-work meetings and inspections before they ever start climbing a sign. They need to do a walk around of the structure and look for anything that looks like it could affect the safety of them climbing the ladder. Is the ladder attached properly to the column? Is there too much vegetation for them to get to the structure? Is there cracking and spalding in the foundation? Does the structure lean? There's any number of things that they need to look at and observe before they ever begin climbing. After they've walked the structure and determined if it's safe to climb, they need to discuss what they're going to do to work around the hazard safely so that they have the proper tools and equipment as well as the proper training to work with that kind of hazard. Then it comes to the equipment. Equipment needs to be inspected before every use. Some companies have a policy where you don't inspect your own equipment, but you swap out so that you have other people inspect each other's equipment. That way you ensure that you don't get someone that just gets to the point that they're used to seeing the same defect and decide that it's not a problem. Now, after you've walked the structure, determined what hazards there are, and you've inspected your equipment, put it on, and now you're preparing to climb, before you get on that ladder, you need to have an emergency plan. What are you going to do if there's a fall? How are you going to respond? A lot of people say, well, we just call 911, or we do our best to drag them back up on the deck. That's not always a good approach. So you need to have a formal plan on how you're going to address those issues. And lone workers. If you've got to send somebody out by themselves, you need to have a plan where they check in so that you know when they get there. Someone continues to periodically check on them, and you don't just leave them out there hanging on their own, no pun intended. You need to have some type of distress program where if they are in trouble, they have the ability to contact someone, if they're conscious, to get help to them. So those are all things to consider whenever you talk about doing toolbox talks. With Vermetco, we have our techs check in whenever they arrive on site. They go through an equipment list and make sure they have everything they need to work safely. And the help desk is there to keep in touch with them to make sure if there's ever a problem, they've got somebody that they can go back to get help. If you have any questions on toolbox talks or how to do them, please don't hesitate to give me a call. This is Jim Pogue with Vermetco, and that's today's Toolbox Talks.